we're going to be talking about oil spills. This is our demonstration right here. We'll get into the definitions later in the video. But first, let's get into our experiment. This would be like the ocean, and this water in here would be the ocean floor and stuff like that. Alright, so these big oil companies, when they try to drill out the oil from the ocean, sometimes by miscalculation or carelessness, the oil sometimes spills out on the ocean. And oil is actually less dense than water, so the oil will stay on the surface of the water, on the ocean. Now companies would try to clean this because you can't just leave a big blob of oil in the middle of an ocean or sea, because if you do, it'll affect the ocean life there. So companies use various methods to try to clean it. Companies have these big methods they use, but in this video, we're going to be using smaller methods. Alright, now let's begin the experiment. You have to pour the oil in.
Oil in. So I pour it.
Alright, so on the camera it might be hard to see, but you can see that there are these bubbles that are right now expanding as we speak right now.
Oil cannot mix in water because it's insoluble. Thus, it floats in water.
Alright, oh, see that? Yeah. So as the oil is spreading, as we speak, now we have to find ways to clean it. Let's first use cotton balls. You have it over there. So these cotton balls, we're going to be using them on the oil and try to pick them up and see if it will work in cleaning it, alright? So let's start in 3, 2, 1. I have a little bit of oil, as you can see, it's sticking to the cotton, but what's happening is it's also getting a bunch of water on it. So this, of course, is not the correct way to fix the oil spill. Alright, so now that we can prove that the cotton balls were not successful, we will now use a spoon.
Be using the pipe and Karen will be using the spoon.
We'll try to see if this will be able to clean the oil spill. So let's start right now.
So if you guys
even using the pipette or this spoon, it doesn't even work, because now this does work, like you can pick the oil up, a part of the oil, and it sometimes breaks it, but the thing is that it takes a really long time. We need to clean the ocean as fast as we can and as much as we can.
And also I collected some of the oil right here, you can see. And you see more water than the oil, so I'm not able to collect as much oil as water. Now I'll be using me and Tam will be using the tissue paper.
Alright, now we'll be using the tissue paper. We'll see if the tissue paper is better than the other two options. You're gonna want to fold it like this, where the oil can easily settle over here.
Like this.
Alright, so now let's start cleaning. Alright, this doesn't exactly work because there's mostly water sticking onto it, and also the oil is again just breaking like it was with the spoon and also with the cotton balls. And if the oil breaks, it'll easily come back together anyway.
And also
so this is also not a good way
to
clean. Let's assume that this is a bird's feather, and let's say it's like standing on the water. So birds actually have this thing called like this water repellent, so they're easily able to dive in and catch their like food, like fish and stuff. However, if we put it over here, it's immediately sticking, it's having force. Because of the oil, it's losing the water repellent. You can already see that oil is attaching over here as I'm lifting.
And also there's more, when I touch it, there's more weight here than here. Now let me drop the whole feather.
Alright, now try to pick it up. It's sticky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very sticky.
No, because the feathers are sticky, it cannot fly, and also it's losing its insulation because of the oil. Another example would be otters. So let's say an otter is swimming near an oil spill, and if any oil gets like caught up in the otter's fur, then the otter will lose its insulation. Now, it needs this insulation so that it can stay warm, just like any other animal. But without the insulation, it would die of hypothermia because it's very cold. Let's try the dish soap now. So we have all the oil, it's settled. So let's pour it.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, look at that! No chance. It all went to the sides. Alright, so let's just explain what happened over here. If we look at a soap molecule, one molecule tries to attract water while the other one tries to attract oil. Now, when we put this soap, now it's trying to attract the oil, but there's also the water. And as we saw, the oil and the water don't like to mix with each other because of their different densities. Because of that, it all spread away towards the sides. The soap did a good use and spread it all to the sides, making this clean.
So now let's mix the water, oil, and the soap together. I don't really see a big blob of oil staying in the surface of the water. I only see little small oil blocks. This is better than having a big block so animals don't get stuck.
Alright, now let's compare this to real life. So there are 3 words that we must understand. One is boomer, skimmer, and dispersant. Boomer, in this case, the aluminum foil will act like the boomer. The boomer is what contains the oil into an area so the oil doesn't spread. And we know that the oil only stays on the surface of the water. It won't go under and spread because oil is less dense than the water. The boomer would be this aluminum foil right here. Now the skimmer, the cotton and the paper and the spoon would act like a skimmer because it's really just trying to after you put the boomer, the companies are trying to pick up the oil. However, this will take a long time. So for a faster way, we use dish liquid or dish soap, but they use dispersant. Dispersant is the chemical that breaks down the oil.
And that's much stronger than dish soap.
Of course, dispersant isn't always the best choice, or else we'd be only using dispersant. The reason why is because dispersant has chemicals. These chemicals may not always be good for the marine life that is staying there. And the ecosystem there might change forever if we use the dispersant. So we have to be careful, and only in big situations should we use the dispersant. Otherwise, skimmers and boomers are the best way.